This video will lightly go over the process of doing a color mixing journal in acrylic. I got this process from Donna Downey, and her link and information are in the description below. She goes into much more depth and detail on this practice, which has been very helpful and most of all fun and addictive. She does several of these on her Patreon, oftentimes using 5 colors. So far I've mixed mostly 3 color sets, but have done some 4 color sets as well. You can mix any colors you like and experiment to see what works and what doesn't. The color mixes go on the left-hand page, and then whatever you choose to paint using these colors will go on the right. What I like about doing this sort of journal is that the left side pages and the right side pages are both creative, but in different ways. Some days you might not feel like tackling a painting, but drawing out a grid and mixing some colors provides a simple creative outlet that feels productive, if that makes sense. You can mix the colors up on one day and then come back and paint a corresponding image whenever you're ready. Or you can do it all in one go. Sometimes I choose an image and pick colors based on that image, or sometimes I pick colors that I like and then find an image that suits those colors. Sometimes for fun I have my kids choose colors for me. You can make all sorts of fun challenges out of this exercise. Start by choosing a journal. I myself like the Handbook Travelogue hardcover series with the watercolor paper. It's thick, holds its shape, and won't bleed through, and when I finish a journal I like to paint the cover since it's covered with the canvas material. Donna likes the Stillman and Birn softcover journal with the thick watercolor paper. It's nice too and feels good in the hands. Depending on your preference, you can gesso the pages before starting. I usually do, but sometimes not. It just gives a little more tooth to the page and allows the paint to move more smoothly over the surface. Again, this is an optional step. Now you start by drawing out a grid on the left where your swatches will go. My journal is roughly 8 by 8 and my grid is made up of 1 by 1 inch squares. It depends on the size of your journal and how many colors you want to play with as to how large or how many squares you'll need. Another optional step is to tape off the edges of the right-hand page, giving your painting a nice simple frame when completed. For this example, I chose 4 colors that I thought looked nice together. Starting in the upper left corner, paint a swatch of each raw color, also known as the hue, down the left and also over to the right, keeping them in the same order. So for instance, if your colors are red, yellow, blue going down, then they'll be red, yellow, blue going across the right. Starting with the first color, the first square doesn't necessarily need to be filled in because a color mixed with itself makes the same color. So to keep the grid simplified, you can skip any squares where a color would mix with itself. Starting with the first row, under the raw colors, you will mix the color on the left, with each color moving over to the right at a 1-to-1 ratio. Do this until all colors have been mixed. As an option, you'll see me add a tinted swatch of the hue, which is the hue mixed with white. I do this at about a 1-to-1 ratio. You'll keep the process going down each row until all colors are mixed. Moving a little bit over to the right, we'll be mixing a swatch, which will be a mix of all the colors combined. Here it makes a greenish gray hue, and again, we tint it back with about 50% white. Now at the bottom, you'll be mixing a graduated scale from one hue to another for each pair of colors. I'm doing an insert here of the completed page to hopefully better illustrate what I mean, since I didn't film the process strictly as I'm about to describe it. In the video, I jump around with the mixing because I've done several studies already, and also because it was dependent on what paint I had on my brush. Not sure if that makes sense, but let me try to explain the mixture ratio here. On the left and the right, the hues will be at 100%. I have 7 squares allocated to the scale, and they will meet in the middle at a 1-to-1 ratio, which is also what we mixed up top. So starting from the left with the first color, the first block is 100%. Then the next square will be about 3 parts of the left color to 1 part of the right color. The next square over from that will be about 2 parts of the left color to 1 part of the right color. Then the center square is, of course, 1-to-1, which gives the 50% mix. Continue on toward the right side with the next square being about 1 part of the left color to 2 parts of the right. Then 1 part to 3 parts right, then we've reached the far right solid color. You'll do this for each row to see the transition between colors. Now I'm going to let the video continue so you can see the mixing in action, even though, like I said, I didn't film it strictly as I'm describing it. finally, don't forget to write down the colors that you used. I could have done this at the beginning, but I chose to wait till the end. No matter what colors you choose, the scale exercise will give you an idea of how they will work together. You might be surprised the color combinations you come up with. I hope you have fun trying this color journal. It's been fun for me, I know. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again soon.